Episode 62 of season 2 of the Third and 10 podcast is live. What's going on, everyone? I'm Nate, joined here by my guy, Brian Gibernaro. Happy Thursday to y'all. It's been quite a few days since we've seen y'all, but we hope you guys are having a fantastic week. As this is probably the first week without, no, it's been 2 weeks now without football, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
So,
2 weeks. But that doesn't stop the football players from making headlines because Kyle Hamilton just asked what I think is the greatest question of all time.
Well, what is that?
See this? Okay. So if you follow me on Twitter, you saw I retweeted it. Kyle Hamilton asked, not trying to get political, but if all 45 presidents were in a Royal Rumble, who would win?
Presidents.
All the presidents, if they did like a Royal Rumble, who's winning? It's tough. I'm torn between Teddy Roosevelt and Abe Lincoln. Torn between them. I think those are the two guys.
I feel like FDR because he's like a little bit bigger.
Yeah, but he's got polio. He's in a wheelchair.
Right. You know what? I'll pick either Washington.
Yeah, Washington could do well. He was a war general. He could fight. You could fight with them.
That's what I'm talking about. Who else?
I feel like JFK could like sneaky go on a run because he's just so young. But I don't think he could win. But I think he could be like, oh wow, he's actually doing a lot better than we thought he would.
That is an interesting question.
It is. I'm like, how does Kyle Hamilton think of this stuff? This is incredible.
Shit, it's the off season, so I don't blame him. But man, that is
I saw that 45 minutes ago. It's all I thought about since. All I thought about was, well, you got this guy with, like, well, how's someone like Biden going to do? He's probably going to lose. How is someone like, how the Bush is going to do? Are they going to tag team? Like, they're going to be alliances?
Well, then again, Lincoln got assassinated, so maybe he's not the...
Well, yeah, Lincoln was a wrestler.
He should have...
president, he was a wrestler, yep.
Well, he could have wrestled John Wilkes Booth before he shot him, so... Maybe a little sneak attack, or like kind of little, like he could sense that Booth was behind him, and then
he was too involved with the play. He was very by Hamilton.
A little too much, I would say. Yeah. Thank you for the question of the day. That was very unexpected.
Shout out in the comments. What do you think? What presidents win the presidential Royal Rumble, and how can we make this a thing?
Just put all the presidents in one wrestling ring.
I would watch it.
I would too. Shoot, wrestling is honestly, I've got into WWE a little bit. I ain't gonna lie to you. I first watched it when I was in the hospital, back in 2020. I think it was. Yeah, I was watching
when it was
SmackDown.
Yes, I remember the 2020 fights.
Yeah, it was when Roman Reigns was like kind of beginning his title run and everything like that. So I was just like, this is pretty cool. Like there's like a little storyline behind everything. So I'm not like fully invested into it, but like I watch like the highlights sometimes. And I mostly follow like the Roman Reigns and the Usos and just the whole bloodline situation. Definitely something that I'd like, looking into and seeing any updates on that and whatnot. So yeah, I think Reigns has kind of, he's slowly coming back to being, I don't know. He's like the main guy at this point in time.
WWE stuff.
Yeah. From what I know, he's like trying to get back to the main guy.
Daniel Smooth on the Three Metros Hockey. He can talk to you all day about it. He's the expert. He's the guy I go to.
Shout out to him, by the way. Hell of a show he has over there. But in this one, in today's show, we'll be discussing a few things. We have the Four Nations final today between the U.S. and Canada, round 2. We have baseball coming back officially today, not the regular season, but spring training with the Cubs and the Dodgers. And then we have some NFL headlines, including our Giants recently making the headlines a little bit with Matthew Stafford possibly coming to us, which seems there's some days where it seems like a reality or more likely a reality. And there's other days where it's like, it's not happening because the Rams asked for quite a lot.
The Rams asked for way too much, but we'll get into that. Yeah. We'll get to that in a little bit.
We sure will. But After what was a eventful game, the first game, I should say,
That
between
was
the U.S.
awesome.
and Canada. Holy, what was it 3 fights in the first?
3 fights in 9 seconds.
Holy crap. Yeah, that was, I tell you, this made All-Star weekend for the NHL so much better. And not even a weekend, but like,
the All-Star
they took
break.
off the.
There's a reason to actually watch it now, because like it went up against the NBA skills competition, and no one talked about that.
Yeah, I don't.
The only reason people talked about that was because of the Chris Paul controversy, and then the guy, the G League car jumping over the car. That's it.
Yeah,
everything else, you heard nothing else about it.
Yeah, there was no excitement with the 3-point contest. The All-Star game itself on the Sunday was. It was I mean, I enjoyed watching it. It's kind of cool, the whole 40-point. I
didn't watch a single second of it. I watched nothing.
It was 4 teams: Team Shaq, Team Kenny, Team Charles, and then Team Candace Parker. It was cool. I mean, I liked it, but compare that to the NHL, it's no competition.
Where they're just beating the crap out of each other and yeah, sending guys flying. Like, yeah, no, this can't compete at all.
Yeah, and I think before we get to the game itself, the most important thing that I took away from this, and a lot of people did take away from this too, was like these guys tried. Like,
oh yeah,
the fact that
care.
they cared. Like, they're playing for their country. Mm-hmm. I think that's what made it so exciting and fun, was that like this mattered to them. Like, if it was the All-Star game like we're used to seeing, it's probably like, okay, we'll have some fun with it, but it's like we're not gonna put as much effort into it.
Yeah.
We're just having fun. Nah, what we saw from this 4 Nations tournament, holy crap, these guys are tried. These guys tried for sure. And honestly, the 2 best teams got in here into the final between the US and Canada.
Before the event started, you kind of knew that besides a crazy upset, America and Canada were going to be in the finals against each other.
Yeah, so it's going to be exciting to see. Maybe we'll see 4 fights in 15 seconds. Who knows?
I hope. I just don't think it's going to be a fighting match. I think they got a lot of the fighting out on Saturday, and I think they're going, unless Canada wants to start fights, I don't think America is going to start fights like they did on Saturday.
Mm-hmm. So,
but if Canada wants to get chippy, I'm all for it.
The U.S. is gonna whoop that. I'm kidding.
Exactly. We'll just send the Chuck Bars back out there again. They'll deal with them.
But how we got here, Canada beat Finland 5-3 the other day to advance to the championship, while the U.S. defeated Canada, like we just mentioned on Saturday, 3-1 to clinch their spot in the final. But as you guys know, hockey is not my strongest suit. Literally, if I had to pick your favorite team growing up, it was the Pittsburgh Penguins. But just listen. I'm not done. Just like how I fell for the Giants, the Penguins were the first hockey team that I fell in love with. Plus, they were a freaking animal. But I would say,
I'm watching the Sharks should be your favorite team. They're right there.
I know, and actually, because I live in California and the fact that I don't follow hockey as much, I'm like, you know what? Let me just start from the bottom and go from here.
The Sharks be a perfect team right now because they suck, but they got Celebrini, so you can be like, oh, I'm hopping in on Celebrini.
There you go. And that was my plan all along. So I'm officially a Sharks fan. But growing up, it was the Penguins and whatnot because Sidney Crosby, and all the things. But that's pretty much all I know. I know some players, Ovechkin, I guess I could name. I guess some players I've betted on in the past, before my time at Underdog, which included guys like JT Miller. I know that name.
What team is JT Miller on right now?
He was on a blue team before.
Well, yeah, he's now still on a blue team. He just got traded.
The Lightning?
No.
Canucks is not.
He was a Canuck. I will give him that.
Okay.
He started the season as a Canuck, got traded to the Rangers.
Ah, interesting. Hey, it's ironic because you're a Rangers fan.
And he was drafted by the Rangers.
Oh.
Drafted by the Rangers. He was drafted by the Rangers. He was traded as a part of the Ryan McDonagh trade to Tampa. And then Tampa traded him to Vancouver. And then Vancouver just traded him to New York again. It's got a whole circle.
Interesting. Okay. Good to know. All right. Yeah. I'm telling you, but there's a lot more I need to learn about this sport. I swear.
Oh yeah.
But other than that, yeah, my lack of knowledge of hockey. But I tuned into some of the four nations. I've caught up with a few things about it. But this is mostly a segment for you because you're the hockey expert out of the two of us. So what should we expect from tonight's game? Are the U.S. primed to repeat their performance like they did on last Saturday? What should we expect from this final game?
Well, you should expect a defensive struggle like it was like the way the game was played in the second and third period on Saturday. That's what you're going to see all game tonight. You know, you might not see the fighting aspect, but you're going to see a lot of big hits. You're going to see some chippiness. You're going to see defense, you know, trying to keep the puck out of the other team's zone. That's a big thing you're going to see tonight. And the big thing is, can Connor Hellebuyck repeat what he did Saturday? You know, a lot of people call him the best goaltender in the world. I think he probably is the best goaltender in the world right now. If he can have a similar performance like he did on Saturday, and Canada hasn't watched film and hasn't figured out how to score on him, then America's in a very good spot, even with the loss of Charlie McAvoy, which is a big, you know, physical presence that's gone. You know, he's got the health concerns right now. He's week to week with Boston. Boston's not very happy about that. That's a story for a different time. But the fact that he's out, it takes away some of like the grit America has, and somebody needs to step up and fill that role. And then finally, if you're Canada, you have Cale Makar back, who was out on Saturday with, I believe it was an illness. He's back in the lineup, so that makes the Canada's starting five much stronger. So America needs to figure out a way to stop that and stop that early.
Okay. So, but it's based off what you're telling us, it's more likely the U.S. is primed to repeat.
I think America is primed to win right now. I think the first period is going to be very telling, because if Canada jumps out to an early lead, and I mean like a 2-0 jump out to the front lead, then it's going to be Canada's game. But if America can, you know, kind of keep going with like the 0-0 or maybe a 1-0 and keep the game tight for longer, they'll win. Because Hellebuyck will shut down Canada's offense, and Jordan Binnington is not a great goaltender. He's fine. Don't get me wrong. He's a good goaltender. Anyone who watched the 2019 Blues knows that he can be an elite goaltender. He's kind of fallen off and regressed, and he's no longer that great goaltender. So a goal will fly in for America at some point. It's just, can Hellebuyck keep the puck out of our net long enough for America to score?
Okay. Yeah, last time he played Canada, allowed just one goal, and made quite a good number of saves against the Canadians. So we shall see what happens tonight. Game is
I got a best bet if you want it.
Yes. Brian bets of the week, since we only have one episode this week.
Perfect. Hit me. It's a 4-leg parlay. Team USA money line -106. The under 5.5 goals, that's -134. Jake Gensel to score anytime goal. He has 3 goals this tournament, 2 goals on Saturday. I know one of them was an empty net goal in the closing seconds, but he did get America. He tied the game up for America when they were down 1-0. Kind of got momentum back because America took the first punch with the McDavid goal, got America back into it, led to the Larkin goal, yada, yada. And then finally, Jack Eichel to record 1 point. He has 4 points this entire tournament. All 4 is plus 1,783. So if you bet $100, you'd win $1,783. So responsibly, that's what you do. And if you want it, I will tweet it out tonight before the game. Brian's best bet, like always.
Please do so. And we'll have a clip on this before the game ready as well. So you guys can reflect back on what Brian has for you guys. So hopefully that hits, because last time
nothing hit. Nothing
hit. But I know this one will. I feel like this one will.
I like this one. This one I feel a lot better with. I'm like, all right, Pencil, he looks good. He scored. He's scoring a lot. Eichel's hot. Like, we'll just ride them. It's going to be defensive, so not a lot of goals. And then USA, baby.
Let's go. All right, bet. USA. I'm going what's it called? I know there's 3 fights in 9 seconds last game. A fight's going to happen for sure. I just don't know how many.
I think a fight will happen, but like, I don't think it's going to be like it was last time because JT Miller's already said he's not going to fight. So I think that's a sentiment around Team USA is they're not going to go out there looking for fights like they look for fights on Saturday. So I think if a fight happens, it's coming from Canada's side.
Okay. All right. Well, if the Canadians want to start something,
we'll finish it for them.
Go ahead, let's go.
We'll show you why it'd be the 51st state. That's my favorite taunt of all time. I don't care about the politics behind it all. I don't care. I don't get it. But the fact that it's such a fun chirp to say 51st state and they get so pissed off, it's so funny.
The trigger words.
It's hysterical. Like it's the ultimate trump card. Like you could just be losing in a fight and just go, "You're the 51st state," and just watch them melt down. It's like, okay, I won. Twitter's been great. Twitter's been great during this.
I can tell.
America's been united. It's like we got a common entity. What? The Canadians.
The Canadians.
Okay.
But man, this tournament has just been a phenomenal. The NHL has an incredible job.
And it's going to get better. We got the Olympics in 2026 and the World Cup of Hockey in 2028, which would be 8 teams.
Ooh.
So it's going to be the 4 in the tournament right now, and probably Russia, Slovakia, Germany, and one other team. I don't know who right now, but someone will emerge.
There ain't gonna be no Asian team. I'll tell you that.
No, but I think actually Japan will compete in the Olympics, I believe.
Yeah, we're gonna lose.
There'll be some representation in the Olympics. I don't know how well, but
yeah, they're gonna lose.
You ever play with Team Japan on NHL? It's not fun. Their team overall is a 50.
Holy, yeah, that's L's right there.
I remember one time I was playing, I was babysitting with a family friend, and he wanted to play NHL. Like, all right, we'll play. So he wanted to be America. I'm like, I guess I'll be Team Japan then to help you out. He was like, the kid was like 6. I'm like,
you helped him out.
Yeah, I'm letting him win. I'll be the bad team, and you can be the team full of superstars.
Aw, that's sweet. And you got blown out, I'm sure.
Yeah, it was like 5-0.
God, no way they're that bad. Holy shit, man. I'll tell you. Us Asians, hockey is not our sport. I'll tell you that. Hockey is not our sport at all. But I will say what our sport...
America's now, because we are dominating the international scene. I don't know if you know, but America has... So America's hockey has the junior championships. I don't know if you know anything about that.
Not so much.
So it's like a developmental tournament. They'll do the best players under the age of 20, mostly 18-year-olds. They'll play in a tournament, and America has won back-to-back. They've won in 2023 and 2024. So if they won both juniors and then win the World Cup, the 4 nations, that the last 3 major tournaments have been America wins. So hockey's America's sport.
Get dubs, baby.
Yeah, exactly.
Get
so
dubs.
Canada's big claim to fame is hockey, and we stole it from them. If we win tonight, we have to win tonight, and then we go crazy saying hockey's ours. We stole it from you. Look at the results. Take the L. Sit down.
Find a different national sport, suckers.
Fine. Go back to lacrosse, like your actual national sport is. That actually is their national sport. Is lacrosse.
Is lacrosse?
It's lacrosse. It's kind of like It's kind of like the America, where football is most popular, but baseball is the pastime. Similar sort of thing. Only lacrosse isn't as popular as baseball is.
We could take lacrosse from them too if you wanted to. Shoot.
Oh, we could 100%. We could take lacrosse for them. We could take any sport for them so easily.
Hey, it's worth a shot. I'll tell you that. It's worth a shot.
We took hockey. Team USA started the 60s. We were not good. If you look at early Team USA stuff with hockey, they are horrific. This trend of dominance only happened from 2000 on. There's a reason the Miracle on Ice was called a miracle. The Soviet Union was the best hockey program the world ever seen, and America was a bunch of scrubs from college.
And we said, nah, we'll take it. We'll take it away. We'll take it away from them. So,
but actually, you know what? We'll actually put money into the sport and see what happens. Oh, it worked. We're good. We're good. Cool.
There's some money that people gets the job done usually.
Yeah, you just gotta put a little bit of development plan in place, and we could win every sport. That's why that's why when all these soccer fans are America sucks at soccer. It's we don't suck at soccer. We just don't care.
Mm-hmm. If we did care,
we're sending at best our C-tier athletes to go play soccer, and we're still getting almost as far as countries like England, which is that all they do over there is play soccer.
We're so close to win the World. I mean, not close, but I feel like We can win the World Cup. We just
America will win the World Cup if America was soccer crazy. Like if America had the passion for soccer like they did football, we would win every single World Cup and would never lose.
You're damn right. So maybe next year's the year. Who freaking knows, man?
Maybe.
The World Cup's coming. It's coming to the U.S. So
yeah, 26?
Yeah. So next year.
It's Canada, America, and Mexico. It's the North America World Cup.
That is correct.
But it's like mostly America. And they have like one game in Mexico City, one game in Vancouver, one game in Toronto. It's like, guys.
It's mostly the U.S. But NFL stadiums are going to be filled to the brink with soccer fans, including MetLife Stadium, and that's going to be
screw up a lot of people because they keep what FIFA's doing wrong is they're marketing it as the World Cup final in New York City, and if you know MetLife Stadium, it's not New York City.
It's New Jersey.
It's Jersey. So it's a 40. So like all these people are going to be buying hotel rooms in New York City, thinking like they could just walk to the stadium. No, it's like a 20-minute train ride.
Gotta take the bus, the train, whatever you got to do.
Yeah, so it's gonna mess up a lot of people.
They better figure it out. I'll tell you that. They better figure it out. But yeah, alrighty. I will say Asians may not be good at hockey, but we are good at one sport. Or we're getting better at this one sport, and that is baseball. You're good at
a few different sports.
Yeah, true. But the one on the top of the list is baseball.
Yeah,
which is back. Yay!
It's back. Speaking of which, I think Yamamoto is throwing right now.
Oh, would you look at that? Oh yeah, because right now it's Cubs and Dodgers.
Dodgers, yeah. Yamamoto was starting.
Here we go.
He's pitching right now.
Right now, and the Cubs
change up there a little outside though.
The Cubs already have. Oh, they got 2 hits. On
no runs though.
Yeah, true. It's it may be 2 hits, but no runs, and that's what matters at the end of the day. You can allow freaking 6, 7, 8 hits, but as long as you have 0 runs,
you can allow 100 hits as long as no one crosses that plate. You're fine.
You are chilling. So
your whip's gonna suck, but your ERA look good.
And ERA is what matters the most.
Exactly. Whip is just one of those fancy stats.
Exactly. It's one of those advanced stats that those nerds will focus on. Not so much something, but overall, man, I'm happy that baseball's back. I know you are too.
Thank God baseball's back. I'm covered in like 10 inches of snow right now. I need spring so badly right now. It's so cold. I'm so sick of it.
Me too, brother. Me too. So just to kind of kick off our baseball coverage this year, what are you most looking forward to this year? I know your Mets are gonna have.
I'm looking forward to Juan Soto being a New York Met. Like Juan Soto is making his Mets debut on Saturday.
Oh wow!
They announced it today. His Mets debut will be Saturday. I cannot wait. I have been watching him do batting practice, and the video of Juan Soto giving Brett Beatty a car nonstop.
Aww. That's nice of him. Look at that.
Because he gave him the number.
Oh,
because Beatty was 22, and then Soto signed. Beatty gave Soto 22, and then as like a thank you, Soto bought him a car.
That's sweet. Okay.
Soto fits the clubhouse so perfectly already. Like it's great.
Yeah, and I think he talked about correct me if I'm wrong, I should say, but the Latino culture on the Mets.
Yes.
It was a big part with him signing with them, which is honestly a good thing. There's
a lot of plays you have. I mean, baseball has a lot of the Mets, especially have a lot of Latino players, which is awesome. Like, bro, it's great.
Yeah, Lindor is obviously one of them. Diaz is another.
Diaz, Marte, the Vientos.
I was gonna say Vientos, yeah.
Vientos, Alvarez. Pitchers. Trying to think of starters. Not really any starters. Brascaban's a reliever. So yeah, we got a nice little mix.
Yeah, 5, 6 guys that Soto can relate to and have fun conversations with on the daily, and that's good for him, man. I think that's important when a new player signs with the team is do you have people on there that they can easily talk to or can relate to, and that's what the Mets have with Lindor and everything, and that how they relate to Soto and all the things. So yeah, definitely excited for your Mets, man. Obviously for me, look, the A's, they're signing people. Also, they've signed some people this offseason for once.
And
Brett Sevy
and Brett Rooker.
Yes, resigning Brett Rooker. I think we're working on an extension now with Lawrence Butler after his breakout year last year. So that's fun times. He's one of my favorites. He fits today's I guess today's generation. He's a young player, but he has some swag to him, which is pretty cool. So excited to see
I like
him.
to let the kids play kind of thing. You kind of will be like a
Yes.
poster boy for that.
I'm
Perfect.
super excited to see. So, but yeah, this year's gonna be fun.
Did you see the Marlins report?
I have not. What?
The Marlins have to spend like I forgot how much money, but they'll have a grievance filed with the Players Association for them not spending enough money.
Oh my god! Like why is it that? Why is it hard? I don't understand. Why?
Not even is it that hard. Why is that not talked about as a problem in the same way as the Dodgers spending money is? Like maybe it's like the big market fan bias I have, like being a Mets fan. But why are we punishing owners like Steve Cohen, like the Dodgers, who are like want to spend money to put good products on the field, where these other billionaire owners, like Fisher, like the Marlins owner, who aren't spending money and putting crap products on the field?
Yeah,
like,
they're the reason why baseball's going down, if anything.
Yeah. Like, I'm not asking every owner to spend like Steve Cohen in the Dodgers. That's ridiculous. But if all of them would just be like, okay, we're all going to spend $150 million this year. That's what every team has to spend. The Mets and Dodgers aren't getting all the big free agents because other teams would, want to offer money. And that the player is like, man, I'm going to go there.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think it shouldn't be that hard to spend at least the minimum amount of money.
Run a baseball team. You're a billionaire. Spend the money. You will make it back if you win.
If you're a good owner and you care, you spend money.
Exactly.
That's all there is to it. Don't know why it's so hard for him to do so. But at the end of the day,
hates Steve Cohen for it. It's like, no, Steve Cohen exists because your owner sucks.
Like, if anything, should love Steve Cohen and be like, okay, I like what he's doing. I see what he's doing, and be like, okay, let me.
Your owner should do that. Be a fan that's got unlimited money that could just spend all he wants.
Just do 1/3 of what he's doing. You're good.
Yeah,
just do 1/3 of his. That's all there is to it.
With the amount of development and how smart teams like the Rays are and the A's with Billy Beane, back in the day, if they would just spend a little money on free agents and then use Moneyball to like get the Moneyball development to get like the complimentary pieces. Dynasties. Absolute dynasties. That's what the Dodgers are doing right now. The A's and the Rays could have been exactly what the Dodgers were if they just spent a little money.
That's all you got to do. Just like we discussed earlier, all it takes is a little bit of money, and you could be really freaking good. That's all it takes. Money talks, and that's true in all sports. Trust me. So I didn't hear the Marlins thing till now. Honestly, if you're a Marlins fan, if there's any, I feel bad for you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like, I'm an A's fan too, so like my owner didn't spend money until this year, which is cool, I guess.
He's only spending money because he'll have a grievance filed against him too, and he'll lose everything, and the whole Vegas thing will fall apart.
Yeah, but at least
the Vegas thing is already falling apart, but he's got to like try to keep it somewhat together.
Yeah. Apparently, we're on track still for 2028. So whatever he says, well, I still don't think that's gonna happen. So.
No.
Yeah, who knows?
Can he make it to 2028? Because I don't think so. I think something's going to happen. They usually might be forced to sell.
Yeah. But, I do want to get your thoughts real quick on this new system that's going to be in place, ABS. If I'm not mistaken, it's going to be in all AAA games this year.
Yes, all AAA games and spring training games this year.
Spring training games. So what are your thoughts on that? For those who don't know what it is, can you explain a little bit? I mean, I have some familiar with it, but I'd rather have you explain.
Yeah, so it's really simple. So ABS stands for automatic balls and strikes. So it's basically a robo ump. But in what they want to do in the ABS challenge system is the umpire will still call the game. So the umpire will call balls and strikes like normal. But the player will now have the ability to challenge balls and strikes. So let's say a pitcher throws a ball and he thinks he catches the corner, but he calls it a ball. He can tap his hat and it goes on the replay board and you can pinpoint exactly where that ball was. And we can see in like 10 seconds if it's a ball or a strike and vice versa. Hitter thinks pitch is outside and the ump calls it a strike, taps his helmet. We're up to the big board. I think this is a home run for MLB because it combines the two thoughts because there are people that are tired of games being decided because an umpire calls the strikes differently than another umpire. All right. They want like a universal strike zone, which I'm all for. I don't want bad calls ruining games. But at the same time, I do like having a human element to it a little bit. Like, oh, okay, let's see what this guy is. I like that aspect. So this just combines the best of both worlds. We're still getting the balls and strikes by the umpire, but if it's an egregious call or a call that can like change the game, we can stop it and flip it. Right? I think it's great. And it keeps stuff like pitch framing that stays in the game. It adds strategy because you got to go, well, it's the first inning. Do I want to challenge it now or should I wait and kill like the 8th inning? And there's another call. If I lose this challenge, I will have it in the 8th inning. So it's another layer of strategy in the chess match that is baseball.
Mm-hmm. So both pitchers and hitters can do it.
Both pitchers and hitters can do it, but they have to do it like right after. So strike, you immediately have to tap your helmet. Immediately. Like there's no waiting, there's no replay review. It's in the moment. Like, let's go.
Gotcha. Okay. That's gonna be fun to watch for sure. I do hope they incorporate that in full time. I think it'll be beneficial for everyone.
Think they will. They're gonna look at they've already done it in like lower minor. Like I think AA had it. Single A definitely's had it for a few years now. The Futures games had it. I think they're going to look at how it goes in spring training this year and then how it goes in the AAA until they fully roll it out in like 2026, 2027. Is probably when you'll see it.
Okay.
They already said they're not going full robo umpires, which is great. So I think this is their next best thing.
Yeah, that's probably the best thing. I think umpires are essential to the game and allows, I guess the old timers to be like, to still have what they want is the best way I could put it, instead of just going.
Like I said, both sides can walk away happy because you still have, the human element of balls and strikes. But the main concern of people who want robo umpires is addressed by this. It's like, well, no, we can't challenge it. So like if it is a bad call that costs you a game, you could challenge it and fix it.
There you go. So yeah, I think there's one clip I remember for some reason. It was Paul Skeens. He threw a pitch in the minors, and as soon as the umpire made a call, he tapped his head.
Yep, that's
and then
it.
they showed the video. But okay, cool. Okay, I'm excited. I like it.
A big thing I've seen is if you know tennis and they challenge the balls in or out, and they go to the it's the same thing. Same technology that can see if that ball was in or out is the same thing they're using for balls and strikes.
Interesting. All right. Well, that's another thing I would definitely be looking forward to learn more about and watch for the spring training.
Article on Belly Up Sports right now. I wrote it last night. So if you want to go in more in depth with it, it's on the site right now.
BellyUpSports.com. Go check it out for Brian's articles, which you kind of this one like every single day. So
pretty much, yeah. If I'm not posting an article there, I'm posting an article on Rising Apple.
There you go.
One of the two.
Another plug. But so baseball's gonna be fun this year. We'll be covering baseball all year long, especially when we get closer to the regular season. We'll be covering the Mets. Probably have like our own Mets segment, our own A segment, all the things.
Where's the Juan Soto segment? What did Juan Soto do today?
What did Soto do today? Well, he went 4 for 5 for 2 home runs, RBIs.
Well, Juan Soto now.
But it's gonna be a fun year. Just want to give you guys a little preview of what we are looking forward to this year, which includes our respective teams, the whole ABS system.
2-0. What a shock!
All right, that's a fast start.
And the season's over.
The Family Guy scene.
That used to be people used to ask me because when I was in middle school and stuff, I was like one of 4 Mets fans in the whole building, and I was known as the biggest Mets fan. They're like, "What's it like being a Mets fan?" I'm like, "Well, that Family Guy clip." That's exactly what it's like. Family Guy nailed it.
Welcome to opening day, and the season's over.
Day, you're all excited, and here's the first pitch, and the season's over. That's exactly how I felt from 2009 to 2014. That's exactly what Mets baseball was like.
If I could relate it to football terms, as soon as the Giants came out with those ugly uniforms in Week 1 this year, I would say the same thing. And welcome to Week 1 of the NFL season between the Giants and the Vikings.
And the Giants have been eliminated.
And the season's over.
I would say the season was over for me when Daniel Jones threw the interception, and I went to get a beer, and they said I couldn't have beer anymore because they weren't selling it anymore. So I just left. I just left the building.
That was your cue.
I'm like, all right, I'm going back to the parking lot. Me and my dad looked at each other, and we're like, should we just go back to the parking lot at this point? Yeah. I'm like, it's 24-6. We're not coming back. We suck. There's no beer outside.
But hey, look, at least hopefully this is the last time we say hopefully this is the last time we say we suck. Because we have sort of made headlines recently. Matthew Stafford's future in the NFL is something that has been kind of dominating the headlines for the NFL's off season.
It's the biggest name, I think, besides like T. Higgins, who got franchise tagged.
Yeah, I do hope the Bengals are able to keep both. I know Chase is asking for like more than $40 million a year from the Bengals.
I don't want the Bengals to keep either. That makes it more that one of them could be a Giant.
Right. I was like, what do you mean? I'm sure they want to bring back, but for our benefit, yeah, of course.
Yes, I don't want the Bengals to bring back either one of them.
If the Bengals are gonna keep one, obviously it's Chase.
It's Chase.
There's no doubt about that. T. Higgins is obviously an integral part of that Bengals offense, and we've seen from this past year's Super Bowl champion in the Philadelphia Eagles, where they paid both their receivers quite a good amount of money in AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, and that obviously helped their Super Bowl run. And I feel like the Bengals they should kind of copy that formula if they want to try to win again next year.
Bengals need to invest heavy in their defense because that's what stopped them from being in the playoffs this year.
And they got a new DC, and you know him quite well,
Mr. Golden.
That is correct. So hopefully that is the first of many steps that they need to take to rebuild that defense. But I think more importantly to keep
the Bengals should just pull an Angels and just draft only defensive players in the draft this year, like the Angels drafted only pitchers in 2020. Do you remember that? I saw a video the other day about that. Actually,
I recall that
any of those guys, they all sucked.
They flamed out, didn't they?
All of them. There's not a single one of them that's good. And I think any one of them that had any sort of big league talent, the Angels traded in the offseason.
Well, let's be honest. The Angels organization is quite a mess.
It's like the first round pick currently has a 7 ERA in AAA. The second round pick got traded to the White Sox for Lucas Giolito. The third round pick got traded for the Mets for Eduardo Escobar. Their fourth round pick got a 9 ERA in Single A. The fifth round pick didn't sign. The sixth round pick retired. It's just like a miss after miss after miss. I'm like, guys, you picked 20 players. You're telling me not one of them worked out? Not one showed any promise?
If I'm the GM, I'm looking at my scouting department. I'm like,
we are all going to get fired because of this.
Just like how the Mavs front office is going to get fired in a few years too.
A few days, a few weeks.
Well, so far it's kind of been a lose. Not a lose. I would say the Mavericks have definitely lost it because they lost all their big men.
The Mavericks have lost.
The Lakers are struggling a little bit. Luka hasn't looked like it. I mean, it's gonna take some time.
Right, but like we said, this trade isn't for this year for the Lakers. This is for the next 10 years. This works out for.
Exactly. I think for those who are focused on this season, the playoffs are still obviously within reach, but these past couple games have been tough for LA and everything. But Luka is still getting acclimated. The All-Star break kind of gives some time to still get healthy still and all the things. So we'll give it a few games until, we'll see Luka kind of bounce back and look like his true self. But anyways, yes. So the Giants, Matthew Stafford, two parties that are connected to each other. First off, if we're giving up a third overall pick, I will lose my crap.
I would go to MetLife Stadium and personally protest. I'm like, we fire Joe Shane now.
See, if we do this, if Stafford gets traded to us for a third overall pick, we will do an emergency show. And we will talk about this and yell a lot.
Yeah.
Because there's no way.
I think we are one of the few Giants fans still on Dable and Shane's side. He would completely lose us if that happens.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
We'll be out on both of them.
Okay. I will. Yeah, it'd be mostly Shane. Well, I know.
Yeah, because Dable doesn't run anything. Dable, you're guilty by association. I want a clean house.
Yeah, at that point in time.
Dable, all I've seen you is get worse. And Joe Shane did something stupid. And Joe Shane was kind of the reason you're still here. Now I don't want Joe Shane here, so I don't want you here.
But I think the bigger question is okay, let's say we don't trade third overall pick for him. Let's just say we trade him for him in general.
Yeah.
Is it really a good fit anyways? Because
it's not a terrible fit.
Because how I think about it is like this. Okay, so he comes to us, right? So he's going from a weak roster as it is because Cooper Kupp is gone. Kyron Williams is injury prone as heck. The best player on the offense is Puka Nacua. You go from that to a very, very, very unknown offense. You have Malik Neighbors. Tyrone Tracy is good, but he's not Kyron Williams, obviously. Just everyone on that offense is just very questionable in terms of how they're going to be, how their future looks like. And then, the weather. Stafford has always played either in a dome or warm weather. And it's like he's only got a couple years left in him. So, like, if we make this move, part of me feels like we're desperate. Like, it just shows we're desperate. Like, that tells me, like, Shannon is like, they need save his job
to improve this year. I think is what a Matthew Stafford does. It's like there is real emphasis on winning more games, not making the playoffs, but not being a top 5 pick team. To take that next step is what I think a Stafford trade does.
And I think for me, it's like if Shane is doing this to save his job, why not just go get a young quarterback? At least go out. To me, at least you go out swing. If you get fired after this year, you go out swinging. But at least you try to get a young quarterback, because we're not. I hate to say it because it's like because as a kid, I was always so positive about this team. Like, like we may have been 4-12, but we'll win the next year. Like I've always been so
48. All the Giants fans. I convinced every Giant fan in my school that we were winning the Super Bowl solely off the fact was the Super Bowl was in MetLife Stadium.
Yeah, that's like that's the positivity.
That's such blind positivity. The Giants are coming off a season when they just missed. I think they went 7-9 the year before. Like, nah, we're good. We're good. We got Ben McAdoo at OC. MetLife, the Super Bowl is at MetLife Stadium. What are you talking about? We're gonna win.
We're gonna win it. It's destiny. But like as we've grown up and we've got into the podcast business and studied the team a little bit more, and we obviously have
it causes us nothing but pain.
Yeah, we've matured more and we've realized that this team just isn't good enough to contend. Like even if we get Shadur Sanders at 3rd overall, even if we get free agents like T. Higgins, like sure we'll be optimistic, but we're not a playoff team. We're so far from it. It's gonna take a miracle to make the playoffs next year. But at least the goal for us, and the goal I'm sure from that Mara wants to see from Dable and Shane, even though I hate the hell out of Mara, Mara just wants to see improvement. That's all he wants. And if that means the Giants go freaking 8-9 or 9-8 next year, fantastic. At least we have a winning record. And that shows like, hey, the future is bright and we have solid pieces around. And if it's Shadur Sanders or Cam Ward or whoever is playing at quarterback, okay, that's a good thing that we got going on. If we do draft a young quarterback, would I be pissed if we get Stafford? No. Obviously, if we trade 3rd overall,
circumstances would involve being pissed.
Yes, yeah, but it's like I just don't want him. If I had to choose, I don't want him. Maybe if we go get Justin Fields, who's rumored to go to the Jets.
I don't hate Fields.
I don't hate Fields. He's a dual threat guy. He can scramble out the pocket. He can run. He's another weapon. He's a dual threat weapon that he and Tyrone Tracy can make an impact in the run game. He can throw the ball a little bit. We saw that with his time in Pittsburgh when he was a starter for a little bit. I don't mind that. Let's see who else. Honestly, he's the only free agent quarterback Fields, that I want.
Winston, I would, just because I love Jameis Winston. I think he's hysterical.
Me too. Yeah.
I could talk myself into Russell Wilson. I don't think it's not exciting for me, but I could talk like, well, Russ did play well in Pittsburgh. If it's a similar kind of thing, maybe you could have some success. I don't want Sam Darnold.
That's true. There's like 3 tiers. So tier 1 in terms of what tier 1 as in quarterbacks that we really want, that we don't mind. Fields and Winston. Yes. 2, it's Stafford
and Wilson.
Who's another? It's kind of Rodgers. I thought
Rodgers in 3. I want nothing.
I don't know.
Rodgers just playing out in New York. I do not want him.
I know, but I don't know. I feel like I could talk myself into him a little
bit. I no,
okay.
Nothing about Rodgers. He's too much of a distraction off the field.
Because
he'll go on McAfee every single week. He'll trash us. It'll be it's such a headache. I don't want to. The juice isn't worth the squeeze with Rodgers for me.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that one. Tier 3. Yeah, Sam Darnold was tier 3. I'm sorry, and it's crazy because like I remember like the first half of the season,
week 8, Sam Darnold was tier 1.
Dude, oh hell yeah! And after what we saw like late in the season, into the postseason, I was like, yeah, I don't want this guy at all. No thanks. So, I know I could talk myself into Stafford. I really could. It's just
I would want Stafford. The reason why I have him at 2 is just what are we giving up to get him? Like if it's simple as like I'm moving a 4th round pick, I'll do jumping jacks. I'll be ecstatic. Like, oh cool, we got a guy for 2 seasons, and we can kind of bridge it to our next quarterback. So we don't have to pick quarterback if we don't want to at 3. If we're not in love with a quarterback, we can go with a Travis Hunter, a Carter. We're not forced to pick quarterback at 3. Whereas if we just bring in like a Gardner Minshew-esque quarterback, it's like, well, we gotta be picking quarterback at 3 because our answer at quarterback cannot be Gardner Minshew and Tommy DeVito.
No, sir. Speaking of which, I saw DeVito's agent being asked on TikTok, like, how do you feel Shedeur Sanders comes to the Giants? And he's like, oh, well, we don't know that yet, blah, blah, blah. I'm just like,
what do you think he's going to say? What do
you
think he's going to say? I'm so excited he's going to be a Giant and take a job away from my client. Do you think he's going to say that? Come on.
No.
Let's use our brains, people.
Yeah, and I'm just like...
He might dress like a cartoon character, but he's a smart guy.
Yeah. But like when I was watching, I was like, yeah, he knows. Like he won't obviously say it, but he knows like his guy is just... I'm sorry. He was fun for like 3 games in 23. Was he fun? Yeah. He was fun for like 3 games in 23, 24. No, 23.
Yeah, 23.
23. Did he beat the Packers? Fantastic. Hell, that was a highlight of his year.
That was the highlight because my roommate was a diehard Packers fan. You know what happened when that happened? He just went to bed. He just went to bed. We were sitting around. Me and my buddy Josh were just like grab we were all little, we've been drinking. We were grabbing like, come on. My buddy Ryan's crying. He's laughing so hard at this thing. My buddy Gerso is stressed. They kick that field goal. He leaves. Me and Josh jump up excited. It's a great night.
That was a hell of a game, and just DeVito played great that game, and it was fun. Like it was fun to watch, but it's not. He was never going to be an NFL starting caliber quarterback in this league. He's just not that good. So, look, is he? If I don't mind him,
like they just found how to beat him.
Mm-hmm. I don't mind having him as a backup. Like if Drew Lock goes, I could care less if Lock goes. I really could care less. I'm
fine Tommy DeVito in like week 18.
Yeah,
Tommy DeVito's the perfect guy like on a contending team where it's like, oh, week 18, it's DeVito week. Let's go.
Yeah, like we got the first seed.
You have some fun with it. The backups are in. Your mind's on the playoffs. You're like, oh, let's just see he's Italian. He's Sopranos.
Either you clinch the first seed, you put him in there, or it's a lost season already. There's no reason to put your starters back in.
Whatever.
Tommy
Cutlets. How we doing? Right? It's fun. But like he's not a good football player.
He's just not, man. He's just not. So
he's a fun football player, but that doesn't mean same thing.
His name is great.
He's a fun football player. Not
there you go. He's not good. Like he'll give you 5 tutties, but he'll throw 3 interceptions. So, yeah. But hey, touchdowns benefit way more than picks. So as long as you're winning,
and like we just want Jameis Winston because it just can be so much fun to cover him regardless of how the team is.
I know he's gonna say the most
bad. Jameis Winston's gonna be golden.
He's gonna say like the most wildest things. It's gonna be so funny still. He's just a fun.
Fox nailed it this year with the Super Bowl. Having him in New Orleans as a man in the street videos, 10 out of 10. That's Jameis Winston's career next.
It was fun, honestly, just to see him interview the players and like do these different things off the field and all this stuff. It was a good choice by Fox to do so. So I commend them for.
He still has my favorite. He still has some of the funniest stories from college. The story of him getting in trouble for stealing free crab legs because he thought they were free is one of the funniest stories I've ever seen in my life.
My favorite is definitely the whole what's it called? Oh my god! I lost it.
We were suspended for the game.
And
he still warmed up.
Dressed up, And the coach is like, "What are you doing?" And then
Jimbo Fisher's is like, "You can't be out here."
Oh, he's like, "No."
It's like, did you think you were gonna sneak by it? Like,
all of us knew it was like you're not gonna play, bro. Like, why are you trying to dress up and trying to sneak? He's just so goofy.
Like, maybe if I'm sneaky enough, coach will forget. Jameis, they're not going to forget it when the star quarterback is suspended.
Nice try, but it's not going to work.
We'll give you an A for effort, buddy, but they're not going to forget that.
No, it's not going to work. So, but overall, man, I just hope we make the right moves. And Stafford's great. Look, he's a great quarterback, Hall of Famer, all the things.
Yeah.
Glad he won a chip for once in LA. He hit the age right now.
And it would be nice for the Giants to just have a quarterback that's like, okay, we know he's going to be good. You know, like we know this guy's not going to embarrass us on the field. Even if he takes a step back and does struggle a little bit, it's not going to be a Daniel Jones-esque performance out there or a Jake Fromm-esque performance out there. It's going to be a professional quarterback. He's going to go, he's going to throw for 125 yards, a touchdown, and a pick.
Yeah. I just don't want to give up too much. I know because they're asking for an outrageous
the fact the Rams are asking for a first-round pick is absolutely absurd.
Insane. No one's doing that.
No one's doing. The only team that would do that if you're a team that's like right there and you just need a quarterback.
Yeah. Other than that,
like the Steelers are a team I could see doing something like that because their first-round pick is low enough that it's like a second-round pick, and B, you put Stafford on the Steelers could probably make a run.
Yeah. Well, they do need some receivers in Pittsburgh.
They need some receivers and stuff, but putting Stafford there helps a lot.
Helps a lot with their passing game for sure. So we'll see. We'll see if Giants continue to possibly pursue Stafford, and we'll go from there. Some other quick NFL headlines before we head off for the day. Giants lose their running back coach Joel Thomas to the Saints. So this is their fourth straight year of losing. No, so they'll be looking for a new running backs coach for the fourth straight year. So talk about continuity. The Giants running back room does not have that at all.
We have Barkley, Tyron Tracy. I guess people just want that.
Pretty much. So the Giants, apparently they're selling 10% of their ownership stake. And
how much money you have? Want to get on this?
Dude, I wish.
Put an investment group together.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, I would.
my cousin said we have like a Giants group chat that like we just talk and stuff like that. And when that story came out, we do like a Secret Santa and stuff. And my cousin texts me, goes, "If I get any of you for Secret Santa, don't be surprised if 10% of Giants ownership is in like your stocking." I'm like, I don't know if that's really nice or really mean.
Hey, if we have a stake, hey, we can say some stuff, man. We can fix that stuff. Team. That's true. Hey, our opinion would matter. I hope it. Floyd Mayweather.
I would love Floyd Mayweather. That'd be fun. Floyd Mayweather is the owner of the Giants. Him in the box at every single game. Love it.
That would be fun. That would make football more watchable.
Because I think that could. Sense. Yeah, and I think it would also like lure players. Like, you want to go play for? Because it's no longer playing for John Mayer. It's like, you want to go play for Floyd Mayweather? Yeah.
Yeah. See, it's like, and he can go to all like the free agency like meetings and like meet with the players and everything. Oh, that'll be
like the Giants might suck, but we got Floyd Mayweather now.
We got Floyd Mayweather. So either Eli or Mayweather, one of the two. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Or
both. Or both. There you go.
Eli buys 5, Mayweather buys 5. They go together. Ooh. Eli and Mayweather.
Double the odds that we get
perfectly free balanced as all things should be. And then Arch Manning's gonna be our quarterback because at that point, there's no use fighting it. If Eli's got an owner, Arch is gonna be our quarterback.
Yeah, we're gonna trade everything in the world for
Arch. For years, I thought Jerry Jones's grandson's gonna be quarterback of the Cowboys. I still do. Actually, where is he? He's in college now. Actually, what college?
Maybe he's waiting until then.
Jerry Jones's grandson. Yes, Jerry Jones's. I believe. Yes, Jerry Jones's grandson is currently. Oh, he was the quarterback at Arkansas in 2021, 2022. He played 2 games. Jerry Jones' son was like, grandson was like an all-star high school quarterback in Texas. Like an all-star high school quarterback in Texas. Like they were talking about him being like him and Arch were like the 2 big quarterbacks in high school. And I'm like, Jerry Jones is going to do something so stupid on draft day and like trade Dak Prescott or trade their really good quarterback so his grandson can be quarterback of the Cowboys. I was so convinced.
And then Oh, wait. So his grandson is still in college, correct?
I don't think his grandson's playing football anymore.
Then why is he still the owner? He's trash.
Oh, because he likes power. He likes the power of owning the Cowboys.
Yeah, well, he's trash.
I'm not saying he's not trash. He doesn't believe that. He won 3 Super Bowls.
Centuries ago. All right.
I'm not saying they were centuries ago, but in his mind, he won 3 Super Bowls. It was during the Clinton administration, but he won 3 Super Bowls.
It's quite some time, I will say that. Quite some time. And I can't believe he thought Brian Schottenheimer was going to be the one that saves the team. Yeah, good luck with that. Let's see what else is going on.
The hope we had that we're not going to come in last next year is because the Cowboys are just a circus.
Hey, maybe we'll beat the Cowboys once or twice. Who knows?
Maybe.
We could.
Speaking of circuses, how about LeVar Ball getting his foot amputated?
I know. Prayers to him, dude.
Prayers to him. Where did that come from?
I don't know where he was.
I was just sitting on my computer writing the article last night, and all of a sudden I was like, let me go on Twitter for a few minutes just to see if anything happened. And I just saw breaking: LeVar Ball announced his foot amputation. I'm like, wait, like the LeVar Ball? Like
I know, like out of
Lonzo's father.
It was shocking news, honestly.
Yeah, I feel bad for him, but I'm not making fun of it, but I was more of like, where did this come from?
Just out of nowhere, honestly. Just out
of
it
was just like there was no like lead up to it. There was no nothing. It was just like, oh, by the way, LeVar Ball lost his foot. He what?
He what? And I think the photo that was released, he looks in happy spirit. You know, he's smiling.
Yeah, he got that big smile on his face.
And I love that. I love that. I really do. He's a great father. He's done an incredible job, obviously, through all the criticism, all the things he's gone through.
He's going to be a Laker.
Yeah, that came true.
Such a great quote.
Came true. Lonzo's a Laker.
It's so hard for him not to be a Laker. I thought it'd be so funny. The Lakers are like, we want absolutely nothing to do with this.
Yeah, but he's been incredible, honestly. The way he's raised his sons, they're all successful in their own way. Melo's an all-star. When he's healthy, Dell's a rapper. Lonzo signed an extension with the Bulls. Like he's done everything he said about his sons being successful. Now gelling on the NBA, of course, but he's been right. So there you go. So prayers to LeVar. Hopefully, obviously, hopefully he gets better and all good luck to him and his family and whatnot. All the things. So let's see. Trevor Lawrence was interviewed and he was asked about going to Pittsburgh or being traded to Pittsburgh or whatever, and he's like, no. Don't know why they were asking him in the first place about that, but it is what it is.
Again, like, what do you think he's going to say? Yes, like it's Trevor Lawrence. He's not trying to create waves or anything. Like I would love going to Pittsburgh, leaving this horrible organization known as the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Let's see what else. I saw it on a headline. I was just like, why are we talking about this?
Yeah, I'm more making fun of the reporter. I'm like, why are you a reporter asking that question? You know what the answer is going to be.
Yeah. So whatever that question was, that was a dumb one. Justin Tucker now has 16 sexual allegations against him.
The Cleveland Browns are interested.
Yeah, the new Deshaun Watson, but he's white
and a kicker.
And a kicker.
That's the kicking. Like, bro fumbled a generation. Like, he had sponsorship deals. He was set for life, for everything, because he was like the most popular kicker in the sport for so long, and then he threw it all away because he's an idiot. I was shocked when that report came out. I
just don't know why these two, Watson and Tucker, like, do this. Like, why did they?
Yeah, exactly. Why?
Like, why are you trying to take advantage of They are there to do a job, which is to give that. Yes, there's some places where they give you happy endings, but I don't want to get too much into that. But their main job is to help you get better.
Robert Kraft. Ask Robert Kraft about those. He knows those.
Jesus Christ.
He does.
Patriots fans, look away. Get off the show now.
Patriots fans should be proud of it. It's awesome. You know what funny would be? John Mara got one of those scandals. I would laugh all day.
I'd still be pissed at him, but hey, it'd be.
It wouldn't change how I feel about him. I think it would just be hysterical.
There you go.
I'd make T-shirts.
I know you. Yeah, it'd be. We can make it for this. It would be like podcast T-shirts that we could.
Oh yeah,
release.
it'd be popular.
Yeah, they would. It sure would. Tyreek Hill and Noah Lyles will race in the near future, apparently, to see who the fastest guy in the world is. Lyles will probably dust him because Tyreek Hill definitely has. He's not in his prime no more.
He's lost his talent.
Yeah, maybe he should go to a different team. Miami is just not a good fit. Sorry, Tua is just not.
Maybe Miami needs a new quarterback.
Maybe Tua's
so
at the
that's
answer.
A team that could. Now, what if they swap Tua for Stafford?
Oh, hey, hot weather.
That's interesting now.
Yeah.
That's something I think both sides can like.
Until they play the Chiefs.
Well, obviously.
In the cold weather.
Yeah.
And then Stafford's going to sting up the joint. Well, no, actually, he didn't play that bad against Philly in the snow.
No, he plays decently in the snow. He's at least played in the snow before, unlike Tua, which has never played in anything below 60 degrees.
He's so bad when the weather's under 60.
So bad.
You would think, like, hey, if it's cold, like,
but like
be prepared.
If you think about it, he played in Hawaii his whole childhood. Then he played at Alabama. Didn't really go north much for Alabama. Then played at Miami. So, like, he's never really had to play in cold weather or learn how to deal with it.
I don't know, man. Tua's got to figure it out, man. Like, dude, you're going to make the playoffs if you're good, and the Dolphins are good. McDaniel's a good coach, but you got to figure out the cold weather, dude. Like, I don't know what you got to do.
How much longer does Tua have? Like, I feel like his leash is a lot shorter than people realize.
2 more years.
I think if they struggle this year, I think he's gone.
I think you give him 2 more years. If he gets worse and worse in terms of just not performing, you got to move on.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then, well, I mean, speaking of the AFC East, Rodgers and the Jets, we talked about Rodgers earlier as to how much we would tolerate him being on the Giants, and that's because he and the Jets will part ways. After a meeting on last Thursday, they decided to say, nope, we don't want you anymore.
Yeah.
See you later. We'll cut you.
The Jets tweet was so funny. It's like, thank you, 8, for all you did. What did he do?
Let's see.
He ran out with the flag on 9/11. That's it.
Towards Achilles. And in 24 of them to 5 wins. Or 6. It was 5. It was 5. I think.
People asking, what was worse, the Brett Favre era or the Aaron Rodgers era? Because it's the Aaron Rodgers era by a million.
By a million. Rodgers didn't do anything for the Jets. It was a waste of a free agent.
At least Favre started out really good.
Yeah, he did something at least.
The ending was horrific, like how bad it was here. But like,
Yeah. So, yeah, I think it was good move for the Jets. I feel like that shows that they're taking control now of this team and not letting Rodgers kind of step over them, despite the veteran he is. So we'll see what Rodgers ends up. I honestly
need a whole culture shift.
Mm-hmm. I do. I will say for Rodgers, like I said earlier, I would talk myself into liking him on the Giants, but I think the best thing for his
Vikings all day.
No,
it'd be so funny.
It could happen. It's very realistic.
It could.
If they don't believe McCarthy is ready.
Daniel Jones.
Oh, would you look at that? Oh, look at our boy.
Did you hear about the 2 teams? There are 2 teams interested in Jones. It's Minnesota and Pittsburgh.
Yeah, he's gonna die in Pittsburgh.
I was gonna say, I'm like, if you're Daniel Jones, just stay in Minnesota.
Stay in Minnesota. You got O'Connell.
I texted my buddy who's a big Steeler fan. I'm like, what do you think? He goes, I think that'd be the worst move in franchise history. I'm like, okay. That's all I need to know.
You play in an indoor stadium at US Bank. It's an indoor stadium. You have the best quarterback whisperer in Kevin O'Connell. You have Justin Jefferson. You have Aaron Jones. You have Jordan Addison. TJ Hawkinson. The defense is real. Brian Flores is still. You have everything that you wanted that you didn't have with the Giants in Minnesota. So please, for the love of God, just be a good little man and stay in Minnesota. Don't know why I call him a little man, but I'm sorry. I just don't want him to go to Pittsburgh. He was going to die in Pittsburgh. It's an outdoor stadium. It's cold. It's going to be exactly what he went through in New York, just with a better defense. But how much can that? How much does that matter?
Organization.
Yeah, just stay in Minnesota.
It's basically just if the Giants were run by smart people.
Yeah, and listen, maybe if it's McCarthy and you heading into next season, you can start. Like it is more than
There's
likely
no
that you may
guarantee
start.
McCarthy's gonna be ready for next season.
That's what I'm
ACL
saying.
injuries are tough.
That's true. That's what I'm saying. He has a chance to start, and you're gonna have so much fun throwing to damn Justin Jefferson and Addison and all these weapons, bro. The O-line he's gonna have so much more success if he gets to start in Minnesota, and I will be front and center in front of my television. If the Giants are playing, and okay, well, actually, I'll put the Giants game on one side because the whole YouTube TV thing.
I would say like,
and then the Vikings game on the other.
TVs.
Yeah, but I have one, so I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not as blessed. But I can get the multi-view, put the Giants game on this side and the Vikings game on this side, and be like, shit. If Jones starts, I'll get me a Vikings jersey with Jones's number. I love him. I miss him sometimes. Do I miss his play? No, but I miss the guy that he was in the locker room. So. Jones, you are the weirdest quarterback I have ever liked to play for the Giants.
It's funny when Daniel Jones. Remember Daniel Jones had the neck injury, like a Jake Fromm year, and there were rumors coming around that the neck injury was going to end his career. Yeah. I said that's the perfect ending to Daniel Jones' career because it fits his career so well. Is we never knew if he was a good quarterback or not, and then when he was about to decide it, injuries forced him to retire. So he never figured out if he was good or not.
We never knew.
I'm like, it's perfect. That's the perfect way to end Daniel Jones' career is we're really not sure.
We're just not sure. And
did he play for 3 years? Yeah, we're still not sure.
But hey, look, I will say he was the quarterback that helped us make the playoffs, even though I will always say it was Saquon Barkley that helped us get there. Daniel Jones
won that playoff game. People give enough credit for that. That Minnesota game was Daniel Jones.
Yeah, that was like the one thing he did on his own.
Yeah.
Other than that, it was.
That's what got him the contract.
Yeah, crazy how what one game can do for you.
Mm-hmm. Like I really think if the Giants lose that game, I don't think they're as quick to give the contract to Jones as they would have been. But then he just saw what Jones could be at his best and goes, "We could do that. We can work with that."
Just getting better weapons.
That was a 1-year blip. Oh,
right.
Oh, shoot.
You are all fired on the front office. Well, not quite yet. So we'll see.
Possibly soon. Let's hope not, but soon.
This 2025 will be the year, man. So we shall see. But that will do it for this one of the 3rd and 10 podcast, season 2, episode 62. Yeah, it was good to be back on here after a 3-day hiatus of not doing a show. We will see you guys next week, though. We'll talk more. We'll obviously recap USA versus Canada, and hopefully the US comes on top after tonight. And maybe the Giants will make some headlines.
Maybe we'll figure out who they're selling to.
That is true. Maybe it's Eli. Maybe it's Mayweather. Maybe it's both. Or maybe
it's like the story came out, and then it had the Eli headline, it had the Mayweather headline, and then nothing.
Yeah, it's
it's all behind closed doors, and at the end of the day, it means nothing.
Yeah,
like, it's 10% of the team. Nothing.
Yeah. It's just the name that gets the ownership.
Yeah, it's like, oh, if Eli Manning's buying part of the team. Oh, Floyd Mayweather's interested. Okay, here we go.
Mm-hmm. That's what we.
Maybe next show we could do top 5 funnest people that could buy that 10%. Like, who would be the funniest person to buy the 10%?
Remind me of that one, buddy. That's gonna be a good one.
Yes, that's what we're gonna do next show. Top 5 people to buy that 10% of the Giants.
I love it. So until then, you can follow us on social media, PG1016. You can follow me at Nathan_New124 on X. And you can follow our podcast page at 3rd and 10 Pod on TikTok, Instagram, X, and YouTube at 3rd and 10 Podcast. So for Brian, I'm Nate. Thank you guys as always so much for your support. Good to talk to you guys again. And we'll see you guys in the next one.